Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mr. Kumabafo, the mediator. And we have the privilege of hosting two of the most notable historical philosophers, Mr. Buddha and Mr. Albert Einstein. Our today's topic of discussion is love. Let's explore this intriguing topic. We start with Mr. Buddha. Would you mind talking about how you see love?
Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared.
Indeed, a lovely metaphor highlighting the infinite nature of love. Mr. Albert, what are your thoughts on love?
Gravitation is not responsible for people falling in love.
An intriguing perspective on love that implies it surpasses the principles of science. Buddha, what should be the place of love in the greater scheme of actions?
Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule.
Deeply felt statements that emphasize love as the remedy for antagonism and conflict. Mr. Albert, do you share this opinion?
The true value of a human being is determined primarily by the measure and the sense in which they have obtained liberation from the self.
A perspective on the significance of individual liberation. Buddha, how does this notion align with your teachings on love?
In the end, these things matter most. How well did you love? How fully did you live? How deeply did you let go?
A thoughtful analysis of what constitutes a happy life. Albert, how do you think love plays a role in this feeling of completion?
Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile.
A strong declaration emphasizing the value of selflessness and helping others. Buddha, how do you feel about the interdependence of all beings in the love context?
Your work is to discover your world, and then, with all your heart, give yourself to it.
Encouraging words, emphasizing the unity of all existence and our obligation to participate positively to the world. Mr. Albert, how does this idea resonate with you?
A human being is part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feeling as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness.
A fascinating viewpoint on the delusion of isolation and the interdependence of all living things. Mr. Buddha, do you see love as a means of transcending this illusion?
The whole secret of existence is to have no fear. Never fear what will become of you, depend on no one. Only the moment you reject all help are you free.
A profound insight into the liberating power of love in dispelling fear and attachment. Albert, how do you view the role of love in fostering a sense of unity and interconnectedness?
Love is a better teacher than duty.
A brief but impactful statement emphasizing how love has the ability to influence our relationships and actions. Mr. Buddha, how do you envision a world where love guides our interactions?
Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without.
A strong understanding that peaceful relationships and a peaceful world are built on inner peace in our lives. Mr. Albert, do you see love as a catalyst for social change and progress?
The significant problems we face cannot be solved by the same level of thinking that created them.
A perceptive observation that raises the possibility that love is the transforming force required to confront the issues of our time. Mr. Buddha, how can individuals cultivate love in their own lives?
To keep the body in good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear.
A helpful reminder that physical and mental health are required for nurturing love within ourselves and others. Mr. Albert, how do you feel about the role that self-care plays in developing love?
We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them.
A contemplation on the necessity of self-awareness and personal development in order to cultivate deep relationships with others. Buddha, how might people show compassion and love to others around them?
A generous heart, kind speech, and a life of service and compassion are the things which renew humanity.
Great remarks that emphasize the ability of kindness and compassion to positively impact the lives of others as well as our own. Do you believe that love is a basic aspect of human nature, Albert?
The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science.
A fascinating viewpoint that contends that love is a fundamental aspect of the human experience and that it motivates us to look for understanding and connection. Mr. Buddha, how can people overcome attachment and fear as obstacles to love?
Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life.
Okay, men without a spiritual life. Here I am Chloe, Kumabafo's beloved wife. That's an insightful metaphor of yours, Mr. Buddha. That highlights the unbreakable bond between spiritual development and love, Mme Einstein. Do you think that love is capable of going beyond what is known to humans?
Logic will get you from A to Z, imagination will get you everywhere.
An illuminating look at the infinite nature of love, which transcends reason and extends beyond the realm of possibility and imagination. Buddha, tell us how people can become more loving and compassionate people.
With our thoughts, we make the world.
Another reminder of the transformative power of our thoughts and intentions in shaping our experiences and relationships. Mme Einstein, what role does love seem to play in the advancement of humanity as a whole?
Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution.
Well, that's a moving picture of love serving as the catalyst for evolution and human progress. Buddha, do you think that the path to enlightenment and spiritual awakening is essentially one of love?
In the sky, there is no distinction of east and west. People create distinctions out of their own minds and then believe them to be true.
A thorough realization of how false distinction and division are, indicating that the secret to conquering these made-up barriers is love. Einstein, how might people utilize the transformational power of love to build a world that is more compassionate and harmonious?
As I said earlier, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them.
Of course, Sir Einstein. That's a wise observation that highlights the value of a shift in awareness and viewpoint in order to approach the difficulties we confront with compassion and love. Are there any last words of wisdom you would like to share about love, Sir Buddha?
Yes, sure. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship.
That's going to be the last reminder from Buddha today that implies true fulfillment and happiness stem from cultivating love, contentment, and faithfulness in our lives. Einstein, any closing thoughts on the transformative power of love?
Your imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. Thank you.
An innovative viewpoint on the boundless capacity of love to stimulate invention, creativity, and advancement. This is the end, ladies and gentlemen. I am grateful to you both for this insightful discussion about the nature of love. Thank you all so much. Thank you.